Episode 1. Creator created humans and the witches' magic became prosperity and peace for humanity. Creator ordered all the witches that they will always consider peace with humans and they will never hurt them. For many years the witches kept their promise to the Creator. However, the Radia Empire developed technology that was more advanced than magic, meaning it was no longer needed, and humanity went against witches and started to kill them one by one. Today many witches are also about to be hanged in front of everyone. A powerful witch in the crowd of witches curses humans that one day they will also get killed and no one will show mercy to them, and then they hang the crowd of witches to death. A powerful witch, Chloe, and her human apprentice Adonis are walking in the desert. Adonis is a human and Chloe is a very powerful ice witch. Although Adonis is not a witch, he is getting trained by Chloe. Chloe takes out her map and starts to look at the directions. Adonis takes his phone out and shows her the location. Seeing this, Chloe gets very angry with Adonis because by his mistake they can get tracked by the military. Adonis tells Chloe that he has made that phone all by himself and the military cannot trace them. Adonis then starts to show off his intelligence in front of Chloe, which irritates her so much that she punches him. Chloe asks Adonis to get up so they can continue moving. Adonis remains still for a few seconds and then expresses his sadness. He asks Chloe why they are leaving their homes. Chloe explains that as a witch, she is now hated by humans, and if she stays, she'll be discovered and killed by the military. They must find a place where humans don't hate witches and can tolerate them. They move toward their destination, but after some time, they are suddenly attacked by soldiers. Adonis wants to fight with them, but Chloe stops him and uses her ice magic to kill all the military men in one attack. Adonis becomes very angry and questions Chloe about his knowledge of spells, suggesting that he could easily defeat them. Chloe acknowledges his knowledge but points out that he lacks the experience to fight effectively. Adonis, frustrated and feeling that his kind deserves to be destroyed, is determined to take matters into his own hands despite Chloe's reasoning. However, they are suddenly transported to the Radia Empire, where Emperor Goth meets them. Chloe gets stripped and humiliated in front of the crowd. When Adonis is about to be killed after insulting them, Chloe begs Goth to spare his life and offers to sacrifice herself. Adonis, filled with anger at humanity's cruelty and the loss of someone who loved and cared for him, witnesses this heartbreaking turn of events. 10 years later, in an internment camp, prisoners Doroka and Anna discuss how the belief that humanity would be happy once the witches were gone proved false, as humanity began fighting among themselves. The Radia Empire initiated endless wars and captured people from other lands. Doroka is about to be sold but manages to escape, freeing the other prisoners. She stumbles into a room where Adonis is contained and about to be freed, driven by a thirst for revenge. Episode 2. Adonis breaks the chains and sets himself free, startling the guards. They become so frightened that they start to shiver. Adonis leaps at a guard and brutally kills him. Another guard attacks, but Adonis swiftly retrieves a knife from his pocket and lethally strikes him. Out of desperation, a third guard draws his gun and begins shooting. Adonis disarms him and shoots him to death. Doroka witnesses the chaos and is almost shot by Adonis. However, she realizes that he has shot her handcuffs, setting her free. Adonis leaves the cell without uttering a word. The military is alerted about Adonis's escape, and the director, named Yamato, contacts an executive named Ikout and tasks him with capturing Adonis at any cost. Ikout is granted permission to use any means necessary, any weapon he deems necessary. Overconfident, Ikout assures Yamato that he will easily apprehend Adonis with his superior powers. Another executive, observing Ikout's confidence, asks him to leave, but Yamato reminds her not to get irritated, as he also holds an executive position like her. Meanwhile, the chief of the prison is distraught that a girl infiltrated his phone and unlocked all the prison gates, allowing a long-term prisoner, the apprentice of a witch, to escape. Later, we find Adonis sitting atop a tower contemplating a magic pen. He writes a spell in the sky and then shoots a bullet, combining magic and weaponry to turn the bullet into a massive projectile that obliterates a building. Adonis begins his revenge by targeting the citizens of the Radia Empire. Operator Executive Ikout kills the prisoners who were attempting to escape from the prison. He then inquires with the chief about Adonis, who informs him that Adonis has fled. Ikout becomes furious and blames the chief for Adonis's escape, ultimately killing him for his role in the situation. Adonis, now wearing torn clothes, enters the city and reflects on how Chloe, if she were alive, would be very upset with him for his actions. He considers that Chloe would want him to avoid causing further destruction and declares his love for her. Adonis writes another spell in the air, causing the land to tremble like an earthquake. He summons a giant robot from the earth, which lifts him in one hand and wreaks havoc with the other. Adonis is on a mission to confront Goth, and he battles against the soldiers, having spent 10 years meticulously planning how to bring down an entire nation. Adonis calls forth a bullet bell to brutally gun down and slaughter all the citizens. Doroka rushes to stop Adonis, but he is incensed when she describes the people as innocent, insisting that humans always resort to dirty tactics and cheap tricks. Doroka then reveals that she knows him and is, in fact, a witch. She and the other witches managed to survive but were unable to save Chloe because they were desperate to escape. Doroka discloses that they can bring Chloe back to life, and she infiltrates the Rydia Empire to save Adonis. To accomplish this, they need Adonis and his memories of Chloe. Adonis begins to see the truth in Doroka's words, realizing he is not alone anymore. However, before they can proceed, Doroka is shot by Ecout. Episode 3. In the past, young Doroka and her people experienced an attack and destruction by human soldiers. She asks her friend Mia why they had always tried to help humans without ever hurting them and questions why the humans were killing them. She wonders why, with their powers, they couldn't defend themselves. Mia explains that humans had invented a machine that jammed the powers of witches, rendering them powerless. Mia advises Doroka to seek safety with Madame Ophelia, urging her to run. Doroka initially hesitates, not wanting to leave Mia alone, but Mia manages to convince her. She begins to run, and after some distance, she glances back to see that the guards have caught Mia. And then the guards killed her in front of Doroka's eyes. Wounded and dying, Doroka is picked up by Adonis, but the military men shoot at them. Adonis, filled with anger, gets up and retaliates by killing all the soldiers. On the rooftop of a building, Ecout is sniping and is getting ready to shoot a bullet at Adonis. Adonis uses magic to increase the bullet's size and shoots it back at Ecout, causing his death from the impact. Yamato's sister, Yuki, wants to use the magic suppression device to defeat Adonis, but Theta stops her. Yuki questions why she can't use the machine, and Theta explains that with the success of science, negative consequences also arise. Yamato receives a call from Theta, who informs him about the human cellular dysfunction disease caused by the use of the machine. The soldiers were affected by particles from the devices during the witch hunts 10 years ago, and ultimately died as the machine killed their cells. With no more witches left to restore the natural environment and cleanse the harmful rays, using the device on a wide scale would expose people to these particles, eventually leading to their deaths. Goth, who stood before the device, had fallen ill due to its effects. Despite the dangers, Yuki still wants to activate the device to defeat Adonis and serve the Rydia Empire. However, Theta attempts to stop her, but both Yuki and Theta are exposed to the harmful effects of the device. Adonis is weakened, and a female soldier beheads him, concluding the incident. Goth then speaks about the supposed greatness of the Rydia Empire. Chief Oz discusses the analysis of Adonis with Charmy and discovers that the body is a fake. Adonis wakes up in an undisclosed location. Episode 4. Adonis lay on Madame Ophelia's bed as she tended to his injuries. As he recollected the events, he realized that the person who had beheaded him had used duplication magic to create a fake body, and that person turned out to be Anna. Confused and inquisitive, Adonis asked Anna what was going on and who she was. Anna removed her mask and disclosed her true identity to Adonis. She revealed that she was a witch who had arrived in the kingdom with Doroka and had been sent to guide Adonis to Madame Ophelia. Adonis found it difficult to believe the unfolding events, so he turned to Ophelia for answers. Ophelia explained to Adonis that they were in the nation of witches, where all of them had known Chloe. However, Chloe had been expelled from the witches' nation for teaching magic to a human child. Adonis soon learned that they were on the moon, and the witches had come to this place 10 years ago, establishing the new witches' nation known as Lunamilia. Ophelia went on to show Adonis the Mito tree, which was essential for producing witches. Witches, unlike humans, were unisex, and they did not have mating pairs. Instead, they received life from the Mito trees, and this tree was the last remaining, as humans had burned down all the other Mito trees. The Mito tree, the sole source for birthing and regenerating witches, holds the essence of life itself. Adonis learns that by putting his memories of Chloe into the fruit of the Mito tree, he can potentially resurrect her. As the only known method to bring her back, Adonis is determined to go through with it. Anna confronts Adonis, expressing her frustration at his apparent lack of gratitude towards Doroka, who sacrificed herself for him. Adonis explains that he is aware the witches may have other plans for Chloe, as he recalls the warning Doroka had given him. The witches have kidnapped human slaves and children, teaching them the same magical arts that Adonis possesses and training them to fight. This training is essential, as the witches require an alternative source of defense, given that only Chloe can produce quills. However, Adonis remains steadfast in his determination to resurrect Chloe and follow her lead. During the ceremony to bring Chloe back to life, Adonis places his memories of her into the Mido tree's fruit, and he experiences flashbacks of their time together. Yet, as the flower blooms, Adonis sees that the resurrected witch is not Chloe. To their surprise, the witch who is the resurrected is Doroka. Episode 5. Adonis casts the spell intended to bring back Chloe, but instead, Doroka is resurrected. Adonis makes this choice, believing that the world is not a suitable place for someone as beautiful and remarkable as Chloe, and he chooses Doroka instead. The shock of the witches present is palpable, and Doroka becomes aware that she is not wearing any clothes. Embarrassed, she asks Adonis to wipe his memories, but he dismisses her request and provides her with clothing. The witch's beloved disciple, who played a crucial role in bringing the witch back to life, undergoes the resurrection ceremony. The witches, unable to hide their confusion at the failure of their plan, verbally accuse Adonis. Ophelia and the other witches mistakenly believe that Adonis revived Doroka instead of Chloe because he never loved Chloe, and Adonis responds by asking all the witches to quiet down. Suddenly, Yamato and his army launch an attack on the witches' kingdom, initiating a battle. Adonis confronts Yamato, using a spell to create a massive sword that severs Yamato's arm at the shoulder. Yamato staunches the bleeding. Adonis and Yamato exchange words, both consumed by the flames of revenge. Then, the perspective shifts to people on the land whose connection with Yamato is abruptly cut. Yamato contacts them and falsely informs them that they have won and successfully eliminated all the witches. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.